So it looks like the Part 2 LR may have been leaked by Dokkan. Things have been pretty quiet in terms of content, but not only that, in terms of just revealing what the next LR, the next unit is. So it seemed like they had things pretty well under wraps. And then they tweeted out this infographic for the Millennium Arena, the new event that just came out. I did my first run on that in the previous video, so go check that out. I will do a follow-up video where I'm able to come up with some better team combinations and whatnot to actually get the higher scores. But in the meantime, this infographic, or this series of infographics, basically explain what the event is about. You can also check this in your in-game news. But then on the final page, they show the unique title. In the unique title here, you can see that there is a Kid Goku and a TIEN. The Kid Goku we can quickly identify as the STR Kid Goku from the World Tournament. This is a free-to-play drop that you got from the World Tournament summons. No, not World Tournament itself. I think it was the World Tournament, like, guaranteed SSR summons. Let me go ahead and pull up this character. He's World Tournament down here. STR, this guy. So this is the TUR unit, and that's very easily identifiable here. But then on the right, we see that TIEN. That is not a TIEN that is in the game. In fact, that is a brand new asset. And as you guys may know, when it comes to mobile games, gacha games in general, they do reuse assets. They want to optimize the assets that are used. So that is why this is looking like the first sneak peek at what is going to be the Part 2 LR. Now, in all fairness, Dokkan, they're a bunch of trolls. The people who run the game. For all we know, this could be the asset for a new free-to-play unit that will be dropping for the next World Tournament. That is very much a possibility because Dokkan does stupid things and they like to be weird. So while most people are probably assuming this could be a Part 2 LR, I do want to just throw that out there as a possibility, especially since the counterpart to the unit in that same title is in fact a free-to-play unit. But I think given the situation, given the timing, it's very likely this is a Part 2 summonable LR. So let's go over what this could mean, what sort of categories this unit could lead. As far as the typing, I'm going to go out on a limb and just say whatever the unit is, even if it's not the TIEN, I think it's going to be an AGL. I feel like that much is guaranteed, primarily because of the new event. The Million Arena event itself, I've only done one video so far. I will be doing more, but this enemy that we're facing is STR Yamcha. This is not going to be the only time that we have this event. This is going to be a seasonal thing, similar to Chain Battle. And this STR Yamcha has major damage and major tanking abilities. So if you have a unit that directly counters that, not only in terms of abilities, but also in terms of typing, that will make the attempts more consistent and easier to do, but then also it will make for those missions to be much more attainable. At the moment, I have only attempted it a few times, and I can only get as far as 77.8, 78.6, something like that, million damage. There are missions that go all the way to 90 million, both on the casual mode and on the competitive mode. So if a character were to release that gives us that very thing, the ease of use of getting that mission taken care of, then that is just typical gacha mentality. You create the problem, then you introduce the solution. So having an AGL LR be the one to take down this STR Yamcha would very much make for a much easier time on doing this. That's why I'm thinking it's going to be AGL. But then on top of that, it's just very fitting if it were to be TIEN. TIEN is Dragon Ball Saga, which works with Mercenary Tao. TIEN is also the counterpart to Yamcha, which also works. Good synergy between Tao and the TIEN. So that's why it just feels like it's an easy layup for it to be TIEN at this point. And then also, when you factor in the Prime Battle character, right? The Prime Battle EZA that's going to be coming up. Actually, let me pull up that as well. The Prime Battle campaign for the TIEN is going to be coming soon, right? So the only event or the only thing besides Saiyan Saga that would work with this TIEN would be another type of TIEN from another arc, or maybe Chaozu, right? So if we got a summonable Dragon Ball Saga TIEN alongside a Saiyan Saga TIEN, yeah, they won't link up, but still it kind of preserves the theme. This guy's an Earthbred fighter and an Earthling, which fits this guy's lead. So is the Dragon Ball Saga TIEN. So now let's just go ahead and take a look and explore what the possible leads could be for the TIEN. It is a bummer if this is to be true, that it won't be anything Ginyu related. It won't be Broly. I kind of felt like I was onto something with the Broly. Mission execution, Super Broly would have been pretty neat. But Dragon Ball Saga fits Tao's lead. Any villain, I mean, we hit the first one right there. So let's just go ahead and figure this out. Now, first of all, TIEN, whoever it is, it will be a dual category LR lead. This is not like the Carnival LR that we had in the last celebration. The Golden Week Part 2 LR was KFC. That unit is a Carnival lead, therefore it only led one category, that too at 220%. What we're going to be comparing this to is the previous Yellow Coin LR and the first Yellow Coin LR to release in this new world order. That is the 10th anniversary. Yellow Coin LRs now no longer lead at 150%. They now have a dual category lead at 200%. So either they continue the same trend with the PyCon or they make this unit even worse than before. I don't think that they're going to want to do that because, again, they're trying to sell here before the Global Dokkan celebration. The only way to make people want to summon for a unit right here is, number one, make him busted, but number two, make him a necessary evil in conquering the latest event that you have now introduced. So if TIEN were to be that very piece right here, people would summon, unfortunately. I hope that most of you don't end up doing that, especially too much. There will be free ticket options for you when we get to the 15th because of Dokkan Day. I believe there's going to be 21 tickets available. And then on top of that, well, I mean, there's pity, but still, I wouldn't do more than that. But that being said, yeah, two categories, 200%. What would those two categories be? So I've pulled up the STR-TN here. This is the closest that we've got to a Dragon Ball Saga TN, although there is another one, the Int one. But this guy, I feel like, is probably a more accurate depiction. So this guy, World Tournament, Dragon Ball Saga, Bond of Master and Disciple, Earthlings, Final Trump Card, Bond of Friendship, Earthbred Fighters, and Tournament Participants. I'm thinking now, if we go back here, this guy was Otherworld Warriors and Saviors. STR Cell was not... He is not an Otherworld Warrior, because that's from Android Cell Saga. He is not an Otherworld Warrior yet. So actually, as long as TN fits under Tao's lead, he doesn't necessarily have to lead something that the Tao would work with. Again, based on pattern. So that being said, you know what? I'm gonna do a hot take. I think we're gonna see our first 200% lead for World Tournament. We don't have any World Tournament leads right now, mainline summonable characters from World Tournament. We've got a couple of banner units from like the Goku Piccolo Golden Week from a couple years ago. And then most recently, actually, ironically enough, the STR Perfect Cell, his banner unit was the Android 18 who leads Peppy Gals in World Tournament at 130%. But we don't have a true lead for the category that is summonable. So giving all of these free-to-play characters a new opportunity to shine, granted, it won't be a whole lot, but I think just a little bit would be a good move. So I'm going to say World Tournament would be the first one. Also, let me change the coloring to AGL here. AGL. Also, let me make this a little bit smaller. What? Hello? What? All right, there we go. So World Tournament will be the first one, and then the next one has to be a category similar to PyCon's lead, where it's not like too crazy. Earthlings, I think, might be really bad. Well, 200% Earthlings would actually be pretty good. We don't have a true summonable lead for Earthlings. It's only the Prime Battle unit. So it could either be Earthlings, or I was thinking Bond of Master and Disciple. I'll just say Earthlings. Let's give two underdog categories some nice leads here. All right, that's what I'm gonna say. World Tournament Earthlings, stats plus 200%, and then we'll see what the rest of his passive is. I'm gonna imagine it's gonna be something nuking related. And yeah, once that unit releases, I think the mission will be much easier to do. So far, I'm just gonna say this, I'm not a fan of the Million Arena. I've had more time to think about it. I'm not too fond of this, but the one plus side that one of you guys mentioned in the comments is that one thing that this has over Chain Battle in terms of the competitive side is that you are not limited to a certain number of attempts. Like, you had to burn stones to get extra attempts within a certain amount of time. Here, you can attempt this as many times as you want in the preliminary round. When you get to the competitive, like the secondary round and the finals, I think you only have a couple of attempts, but at least for the beginning, for the qualifier, it's not as bad. I'm just trying to find something positive from this. So far, I'm not vibing with it, but we'll see. We'll see how this event evolves from there. TN, AGL TN. I'm down for it. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like down below. Let in the comments your thoughts on the possibility of an AGL or just the possibility of an LR summonable Dragon Ball Saga TN. Do you like it? What sort of category leads and stuff would you want to see? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments down below. Also, be sure to subscribe for more dope content of the future and click the notification bell so that you know you want to see more of my stuff. Do it. Thanks again. Stay tuned and remember to Dokkan responsibly.